backup.
Keep manufacturing in the U.S. We're not going to go anywhere.
All these folks, you know, won't work. I decided that if I was able to employ these people or build this brand, then they have to employ more American workers.
I think this is the best damn country there is. And we need to keep it just like that.
Good evening and welcome to Made in the Triad. As many textile companies look to go overseas, we found one company in High Point that, despite all of the offers, refuses to have their goods made anywhere but the Triad.
I like to see something unique. When is the last time you've seen something unique? Well, we do like a strap gown, which is a little sexier than just an ordinary gown that fits all the way up to the shoulder.
From the very beginning, Verena Hotelling knew she wanted to be anything but ordinary.
This is where it starts.
The designs won't put you to sleep.
I did it to make something look good. I didn't want just a basic garment, which anyone can do.
All Verena designs are created by her, designed with fashion and comfort in mind.
We're producing a product that is European quality and has a real antebellum ambiance.
For more than 20 years, this loungewear and lingerie have been made in High Point with a relatively small staff.
22. Love to have 122, so buy American.
Buy American. It's something you'll hear often from Hotelling.
We've had the biggest companies in the world, textiles. We had Spring Mills, we had Burlington, we had Stevens, we had Guilford Mills. Where are they? I'd like to keep some of this industry alive in this country.
So important that she has spurned offers to go overseas or use goods from outside the states to make her product.
I insist that our product is 100% American. I will use American cotton versus cotton from anywhere else. And our cottons are our top sellers.
And the products are not only bestsellers, they're also award winners, winning Best in the World by Couture.
This was 2007-2008.
Every design is limited to a production of 1 to 200.
That'll be the very first one, and like this. To keep the uniqueness of it, and because women have gotten accustomed to it, oh, what's new in Verena? You know, they want what's new.
Each bearing the owner's name, and each tagged with the likeness of the Tar Heel State. So how does a woman from Germany become so passionate about American-made products?
I'm such a historical relic. I was born under fascism, kind of grew up under communism, lived in semi-socialism, and I think this is the best damn country there is. And we need to keep it just like that.
I love all of these things. They're so soft. I think I'm going to try these on.
Okay, but I think you should try one of my favorites also.
One of your favorites?
I mean, with the simplicity, also try some detail and make yourself feel gorgeous.
How can you say no to that? All right. I'll catch up with you guys at the next one. This company survived the Great Depression and really has handled any challenge coming along its way. How do they do it? Slane Hosiery says their secret is their people. They put their best hands and their best foot forward. The yarn feeds through the tubes into the machine and starts the process. Success weaves through every machine at Slane Hosiery. The average sock takes about a minute and 30 seconds, a minute and 45 seconds. In an industry that shipped thousands of North Carolina textile jobs overseas, 43 million pairs of socks ship out instead every year here in High Point.
We have 350 employees.
So what's behind the success of this 3-shift, 6-day-a-week operation that continues to make it right here?
Our number one asset is our employees.
And a little more than a year ago, Slane Hosiery became an employee-owned company. It's part of the fabric that drives employees like Lorraine Callos.
I know that we work hard in quality and we work hard in trying to do everything we can here at Slane to make sure that we are a profitable company.
Some of the customers who turn to Slane for its quality may look familiar.
For many, many years, Slane has produced the Nike product, and for a long time, up until 1996, they were the sole manufacturer of hosiery for Nike.
With every sock that goes out the door, so does the Made in the USA brand and the name of every employee.
I look at a pair of socks that I know came from Slane, and I see on that sock, manufactured by Slane Hosiery, Gloria White. So all of us have that pride in our product.
Slane Hosiery helps other companies in the Triad and in the state stay in business. Company leaders tell us 99% of the yarn that they use is domestic. Hey, how'd you get in here? Going to our next story. Sometimes the need for the littlest people creates some of the biggest ideas.
We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into.
Two lifelong friends stitched together an idea.
So we hand drew the design, and then after that we thought, okay, we've got to have this thing made.
Their invention is now known as the Floor Nanny. It's a square pillow with a depressed center and raised sides.
And the sides act as a pillow or a cushion when the child topples over when they're learning to sit up.
After just 5 years on the market, the company has sold more than 5,000.
It's so exciting to see how it has transpired, because when we first started, we literally were working out of our homes, in the garage.
To meet the demand from customers, they've gone from the garage to the factory.
There's a lot of floor nannies usually going out every day.
And they chose to stay local, which has been a big boost for Fairway Cushions.
They're bringing in a percentage every month to us, which allows us, again, to cover those payrolls, those fixed expenses, and it's something we know we can depend upon. And that's a big thing, is having something you can depend upon in today's marketplace.
And as business continues to grow, they hope to sow a lifelong relationship with Piedmont workers.
Both of my parents worked in textiles, so for me, I feel very important about employing people in the United States, and especially locally, where textiles is hurting.
The Floor Nanny is only advertised on their website and through satisfied customers.
That's one person telling another person, and it continues, our business continues to grow with word of mouth.
As my wife always says, we make the best seat in the house.
Now the seat of choice may no longer be that sofa. It should be the Floor Nanny. Anita and Heidi had the opportunity to move their production line overseas, but they said, kind of like this elephant, they could never forget the comforts of home. Coming up.
When I found, the fact that you could have actually wear clothes that had plastic bottles, and I was like, this is really cool.
That's right, a company that can turn this into this. And have you ever had a time when you felt your clothes just didn't fit right? Well, maybe you should try on this made in the Triad for size. Welcome back to Made in the Triad. We're at the Recycling Center in Greensboro. Here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that Americans, on average, use 2 million plastic bottles every 10 minutes? So a man had an idea. He turned this right here into this right here. How did he do it? You'll have to see it to believe it.
51 billion water bottles go into U.S. landfills annually.
Joe Fox is bothered by bottles.
They take 700 years to decompose. So that's a long time to sit and wait on something to go back to nature.
Those numbers frustrated Fox so much, he started his own recycling business. But it's not what you think.
When I found, the fact that you could have actually wear clothes that had plastic bottles, and I was like, this is really cool.
Dirtball Fashion has a dirty little secret. Each shirt contains recycled cotton and 2 16-ounce water bottles.
And then we realized we wanted to do a story, because some people didn't get, oh wait, cotton plus 2 water bottles equals a t-shirt, so we decided to go tagless and put it in the back of the t-shirt to kind of explain that a little bit better.
And it's not just the shirts. Each pair of shorts contain 10 water bottles. Each bottle is chipped, melted, and turned into thin strands, combined with recycled cotton scrap to create yarn, and then turned into fabric.
It is completely ludicrous. If you had told me 10 years ago that this could have been done, I'd have said you're an idiot.
Now, he'd call you a genius, and so would the employees who produce this eco-friendly product.
All of these folks, won't work, and so I decided that if I was able to employ these people or build this brand, it, in essence, by selling more product, I buy more product from them, then they have to employ more American workers. So it's, you know, a vicious cycle, so to speak, for the good.
And as for the name, I mean, Dirt Ball?
It's about being active. It's about being eco-friendly. You know, it's about getting out there and doing your thing in the outdoors, but at the same time wearing a product that helps sustain our environment.
Eco-friendly plus American sewn equals made in North Carolina. And it's not just the bottles that are recyclable. Dirt Ball actually recycles their recycled clothes. So let's say you have a pair of shorts and they wear out, you send them back to the company. They use those pair of shorts to create another piece of clothing. Ever have one of those days where nothing in your closet fits, then you go shopping and nothing on the rack fits either? Imagine being able to go into a store and having every piece of clothing be made just for you. It fits just right. Well, that store actually exists. It's here in the Triad.
We have customers that fly in from Denver, from Hawaii, and from New York just to shop here.
Here would be South Elm Street in Greensboro.
What we have in our shop is so unique because we make it here. There's something new coming out every day.
The shop is Mac & Mac. Robin Davis designed this business in 1995 in her father's basement.
In my opinion, the world is too casual, and I just want to dress it up a little bit.
She unveiled her retail store 5 years later. Each day, a staff of 8 seamstresses sewed together custom-designed garments.
Once you start wearing our clothes, you do love them, and I think it's because you feel so good in them, you're comfortable in them, and they're easy to take care of. You wash them.
The fabric is imported from Japan, but to Davis, it's the exported, finished product that makes her company shine.
It's probably more important to make the garment here from materials that are brought in, and to have the quality and to have the service, because we have been known to make up a skirt and have it delivered the very day to someone in Tennessee.
Her designs turn heads all over the nation.
We have a store in Cleveland, and her customers are like addicted to these clothes, and they come in and say that they're Mac cracks.
And while the addiction for some has wandered in this down economy, Davis believes the economy will rebound, built on the backs of companies just like hers.
This country was built on small businesses, and I think eventually we'll come back to that. We want to maintain our quality, we want to maintain our focus, and our customer service, most of all.
A custom fit, a custom look, all with the customer in mind.
A lot of people have found that shopping is no longer any fun until they come here, and then they rediscover the fun of shopping.
Now, the owner says it's not just the patterns or just the sewing that's the secret. She says it's the skill and the attention to detail. Still to come on Made in the Triad.
It's magic, isn't it? We call it trash into cash.
How a company turns one man's garbage into not only a new product, but jobs. And then see how 2 businesses help shape the sports landscape in the Triad. Welcome back to Made in the Triad. This is the time of year where you don't want to stay inside, you want to come outside. So come outside. Really, come outside. The patio pavers you're looking at were at one time a piece of someone's countertop, maybe even yours. The scraps were bound for the landfill, but now they're actually paving the way for a whole new business.
We go to all the countertop fabricators and we pick up all their waste.
This waste is not being wasted at all.
We save about 100,000 tons a year out of the landfill.
But 5 years ago, that wasn't the case.
Then there was a 40-yard big open bin container full of beautiful pieces of granite. My question was, what do you do with this stuff? And he said, well, I pay $1,000 a month to have it thrown away. And I went, that's stupid.
So John Tesh and a group of 5 partners formed Earthstone Products in Greensboro, turning the scraps into outdoor pavers, indoor tile, backsplashes, and shower material.
It's magic, isn't it? We call it trash into cash.
And the payoff can be seen in venues such as Revolution Mill and the future McGirt Horton Library.
I think it's about the most beautiful floor I've ever seen. In fact, there's one of the floors in Revolution Mill that's our product, and I honestly think it is the most beautiful floor I've ever seen anywhere, anytime.
Ironically enough, Rosemary Williams was at one time paid to haul all of this to the landfill.
I hauled construction trash for a number of years, and one of my customers called one day and said, we don't need your services anymore. And he said, well, this company has come to see me, and they're going to take my scrap countertop material for free.
2 years later, she traded in her garbage truck for a manufacturing plant.
And I bought Earthstone Products May of 2009.
Going green is not just a buzzword around here.
If we go to a countertop manufacturer and we say, we're going to recycle your material, we mean it. There's no smoke and mirrors.
So much so that the North Carolina Department of Environmental Natural Resources has deemed them an official granite recycling center. And while the state has recognized them, so have many consumers.
I think most people want to do what's right for the planet, which is, of course, to recycle and reuse and to use less resources whenever we can.
Now, your next step could be on pieces from your kitchen.
Yeah, that's very true. They're very true. They might be walking on their own trash. You're exactly right. And we're pretty proud of that, actually.
A lot's happened in a very short amount of time. When you look back on it, it's just amazing how far we've come in a short amount of time. And the future is bright, I think.
The company is ready to break out of the Triad and expand to other major cities in our state. And just a stone's throw away, we move from granite to brick. Many houses and stadiums in our area are made out of brick. North Carolina is famous for it. Even with the down economy, Pine Hall brick is just as strong as the product it produces.
When you have a product that holds up the Great Wall of China, that's testimony to how the product survives over time.
Built on that strong foundation, Pine Hall brick has cemented itself as a dominant supplier of the oldest building material known to man.
This company has been growing ever since it was founded in 1922, and in particular, over the last 20 years, we have grown quite a bit.
They left their footprint on Wake Forest BB&T Field, Baltimore's Inner Harbor, Disneyland, the Basketball Hall of Fame, and they won an architectural award for their product at Ball State University.
It's actually a hardened clay that we grind down to get it to a finer mix, and all we do to make pavers is to add water, and we fire it to 2,000 degrees.
We really control the entire operation. We start with the raw material through the making, firing, unloading, selling, and shipping operations. So if we mess up, there's nobody else to blame but us.
This 5-plant operation works around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and employs more than 300 people, molding over 100 different styles of brick and producing 50 million pavers a year.
So every single day that works out to about 150,000, 160,000 pavers a day.
Making Pine Hall brick the largest supplier of clay pavers in the United States.
When housing is down, typically people are still using paving brick, primarily for remodeling activity. Because they can't go buy a new home, they spiff up the one they do have.
Another key to their success, customer service.
We're able to focus on them, keep them with quality products, give them the service that they need to be successful even in downtimes. So that's kind of a winning formula all the way around.
And like the Great Wall of China, employees believe this third-generation family-owned business will be around for a long time.
We think that our future's bright. We've got to weather this storm, but we feel good about our chances.
Pine Hall Brick left its mark on Wake Forest BB&T Field, and on this side of town it's football, but on the other side of town, baseball is the pastime. The Winston-Salem Dash just christened their new home, and that brings us to our next company. It's not really about what they make, it's about what they grow.
This grass we're harvesting today is about 18 months old.
This Montgomery farm proves the grass really is greener on the other side. Back in the 50s, the cash crop was much different.
Mostly your traditional row crops with tobacco, cotton, and a lot of peach trees.
Now what's bringing in the green is the green.
It's going to be about 650 big rolls on about 30 truckloads of sod.
In 1986, the Harris family planted new seeds, grass seed, and specifically turf grass.
So we planted 7 acres of fescue, and today we grow over 600 acres.
To date, the company now specializes in 5 different varieties of Bermuda, as well as varieties of fescue, zoysia, centipede, and bent grasses. But this isn't your run-of-the-mill backyard kind of grass. Sandhill turf is getting national attention. This Tiff Sport Bermuda grass will be laid down on FedEx Field, home of the Washington Redskins.
This will be the 10th time we've done FedEx Field. We replace their field every year for them for the last 9 years, and this is the 2nd time we've done it this year due to the U2 concert.
The family-run business carpets venues throughout the state of North Carolina and Virginia.
We've done Keenan Stadium, the Greensboro Grasshopper Stadium, and we'll do the Winston-Salem Field when the stadium is completed.
With a full-time staff of 20, they increase the workload in the summer months, bringing on an additional 15 people. And the business keeps others working as well.
We sub out to a lot of independent truck drivers to haul a lot of our grass around to all the different locations we go to.
From fertilizer to seed sales.
We try and keep everything as much in North Carolina as we can.
And while watching grass grow isn't exciting to most,
it makes for some interesting Saturday and Sunday afternoons when you can turn on the TV on multiple channels and then see your grass being played on. It makes it a lot of fun.
Sandhill Turf actually cultivated the lush greens that the Dash get to play on, which kind of makes me think maybe we should be changing the name of this show from Made in the Triad to Grew in the Triad. As the Triad continues to grow, and as it does, more and more companies will find a way to transform themselves. Coming up on the next Made in the Triad, companies that are going high-tech. From making parts for the space shuttle and fighter jets.
Our company provides to our customers the parts nobody else wants to mess with.
To the smallest details on motorcycles.
We manufactured the levers, the clutch and brake lever. We manufactured the grips.
And even a company that makes machines that makes machines.
I get to play with robots all day. I mean, that's one of the fun things about it.
That's next time on Made in the Triad. Until then, good night.